How do you fully heal holistically from Lyme? This video is going to have a ton of information, so feel free to save it for future reference. So Lyme disease is defined as an infectious illness caused by the bite of a black-legged tick. The symptoms often include, but are not limited to, fever, fatigue, headache, and this characteristic rash that resembles a bullseye. If left untreated, Lyme can eventually lead to more serious complications that affect the joints, the nervous system, and even the heart. Okay, so the way in which we heal this holistically is by taking a look at what made that individual's body hospitable to the diagnosis to begin with. When it comes to dis-ease, you guys know I always break that word down, it always goes back to that person's inner terrain. Hear me loud and clear when I say, if you have an optimally functioning lymphatic system and your body's eliminative pathways are working efficiently, when you come in contact with dis-ease, your body will be set up for success to deal with it. The human body is already programmed to heal, but the decisions that you make and that you've made over the last couple of decades will impact your body's ability. Forgetting this is how people run into problems with the mainstream approach of treating diagnoses such as lupus, Lyme, fibromyalgia, MS, any chronic dis-ease. They're often treated with antibiotics. But remember what I just previously said. Your inner terrain when you come in contact with dis-ease is what truly matters. So to compromise someone's microbiome/immune system who's already dealing with a chronic diagnosis like Lyme, lupus, fibromyalgia, or any of the other diagnoses that I just mentioned, it's like trying to put out fire with fire. It doesn't make sense. And guys, this is the matrix. This is the loop that people get caught up in, and I'm gonna explain it to you right now. Everything goes back to the inner terrain. Your inner terrain, what you are hosting inside of your body and what is not able to be released based off of your history of lifestyle choices, right? Food, alcohol consumption, stress, environmental pollution, etc. That is everything when it comes to dis-ease. That is the root. You can think of the microbes within your body as a side effect of the choices you make. This is exactly what needs to be addressed, and it's exactly how my patients heal. The mainstream treatment approach is that if somebody's sick or dealing with any chronic diagnoses, again, not just Lyme, but any chronic diagnosis, you give them medications, you treat them, right? You keep them in the same exact environment that brought them here to begin with, but you corner them. You just put them, you see how this fish is like in a bag within his own tank. The terrain is still there, but they're trying to kind of save him from himself. It's putting fire out with fire. You're not getting to the root cause of anything. But with a healing-based approach that targets your root causes, you actually heal from your diagnosis because you change your inner environment. We're not trying to hide you from yourself, we're trying to remove what does not belong so that your body can naturally reach homeostasis. This is healing versus treating, right? We don't want to just treat you, we want to heal you. So what are some of the things that might make someone's body hospitable to a diagnosis like Lyme? Medications are just one possibility, but it's a pretty big one. Sulfur left over in the GI tract from medication use is a very common one that I'm constantly seeing in my chronic lupus and Lyme cases. Again, you can see how it can be a catch-22 to try to take medications to treat someone who's already dealing with chronic acidosis. But it's obviously much more than just medication use. What has your diet been over the last 10, 15, 20 years? What about alcohol consumption? What about stress? What about parasite infections? There's smoking, there's environmental pollution. All of these things directly affect the terrain. If you want to heal from any chronic diagnoses, you have to drain your lymphatic system. This is an absolute necessity. This does not mean just dry brushing or getting on a rebounder or doing some jogging. Sure, these things help to detox your lymphatic system, but people forget. Your lymphatic system is over 100,000 miles long. This idea that you can just change your diet up a little bit, right? Include some superfoods, take some herbal supplements, maybe do some dry brushing, and that's supposed to cleanse your lymphatic system, it's not enough. An in-depth protocol that addresses everything is absolutely necessary, which is why it's important to work with someone who is root cause focused. Two people can have the same medical diagnosis. They can have lupus, Lyme, fibromyalgia, MS, etc. But the way in which they got there is going to be a little bit different because their compromises are going to be different. Their history is different. The human body is resilient and it wants to heal. You can be in an entirely different state with your health within 6 months. You can feel drastically different within 1 or 2 months. Not with treatments, but with personalized healing protocols that target the root cause of what you're experiencing. Based off of your history and your compromises, there are amazing plants that will help to detox your lymphatic system and cleanse your body as a whole. There are so many foods that will directly contribute to your healing. But again, healing is not about treating your symptom, it's about getting rid of what made your body hospitable to that diagnosis to begin with. If you would like to work with me on healing as opposed to treating, you're more than welcome to visit my website by clicking the link in my bio and then selecting Work with Eric.